What's going on, everybody? Man Cave here. We have a viewer requested video. You guys know in the last video where I had my nice little chat with fellow YouTube producer and very good friend, the Mad Dog Madigan. You guys wanted to see an overview of all of my rigs. Well, these aren't all of them, these are all of my running rigs. So, first, this is going to be a rather large video too, since we're going to have to span all the rigs sitting here. So, as I settle down on the concrete, we're going to start with Porkchop here. Porkchop, we all know, is running, to start off, a DMG custom Southern Buggy style chassis. It, at the moment, is using a Castle Sidewinder setup, but it will be changed over to a Traxxas VXL 3S 3550. It's using right now a Savox 4096 coreless servo, which, yes, I know the Savox servos are loud. We have a standard Wraith pan outfitted with a bow tie decal sheet. You can see there's tack, speedo, toggle switches, GPS, everything. We've got some Team 36 seats in it, scale fire extinguisher. It's running XR10 axial shocks. I've got complete VP axles. Let's see, what else are we using? Besides the VP axle, I also have the trusses. I have the VP shock mounts, front and rear. I also, in the front, have the new Vanquish VVDs, which, for those of you who don't know, they are the strongest universal shaft on the market, guaranteed not to break. They're made out of chrome moly. They have a lifetime warranty on them. And to pair with that, I have the titanium links front and rear, upper and lower, as well as the titanium drag link and steering bar. I also have currently a set of SLW version 2 rims with the Vanquish disc brake kit front and rear, Rogue Element hubs front and rear, heavy duty stainless steel Punisher shafts. Inside the axles, besides having the 3D diff covers, which are painted to match the frame, I have an axial 23 tooth metal servo horn. And there's a good shot of the VVDs right there. I also have the chubs, the knuckles, lockouts in the rear, everything's color matched. Inside the axles, I have Hot Racing's SHD lockers with overdrive gears from axial in front and rear. For a battery, this thing runs a 2-cell 5600 milliamp 60C Venom battery. And for tires, we're running a cut set of 2.2 Interco IROCs. That pretty much, in a nutshell, is going to wrap up Porkchop. I'm going to try and do all the 2.2 class rigs first. So next up we have my R1 Jungfac G-Made crawler, which has been completely modified. It's using the Stealth chassis. It has a Goat 3S ESC with a ballistic 21.5 turn motor. On the front, I have the aluminum C-hub carriers, the upper link relocation kits, heavy duty steering links, bent lower links, the externally sprung shocks front and rear. In the rear, I went ahead, and since all R1s need this, I did the rear steer kit as well. So in the rear end, I have the upper link relocation kit as well. And with the Stealth chassis, they give you the unique option of either running the R1 tranny or what I have in it, which is a Hot Racing locked all metal AX10 transmission with Jungfac hardened carbon steel shafts For the wheels, I have the other set of wheels from Porkchop, which are Vanquish SLW V1 Respuns. 600 hubs on this, as well as 600 hubs on Porkchop. For a battery, I have the Max Amps multiple voltage build your own pack. So I've got two single cell 2250s, which will make a 4500 2-cell battery. This one is actually really fun to drive. The rear also has the lockouts. So moving on to the next rig, we have the Low C Comp crawler, which you guys have already seen the video of how I've absolutely fallen in love with this vehicle. This one is bone stock minus having a Novak Rooster Crawler ESC, the Max Amps LiPo battery, 2-cell. At the moment it still has a Novak Terraclaw 55-turn motor, but that's going to be given away to a brushless system. And for servo I have a standard axial AS2. Now this one is the most stock rig that I own. Next we're going to move on to something that I haven't even shown anybody yet. This is going to be my third Wraith. This was originally Copperhead. It has been repainted silver, and I'm using the stock AR60s from Axial. I'll be using MIP spline CVDs, which are in there. It's going to be featuring the new 2-speed transmission from RC 4-wheel drive, an Integy 35-turn matrix lathe motor with the AE2, I believe, ESC, which has the 2-cell LiPo compatibility to it. This one's going to be run without an interior tray and without a rear deck. The battery is going to sit up under the hood. I've ordered a level 3 racing chassis mounted servo kit for it with Panhard. I've also ordered a Hot Racing full dress up kit, which will give me new lower and upper links, steering link, and diff covers in green to go with the green theme on the stock body panels. Currently it has the top CAD upper and lower links, as well as the top CAD aluminum servo mount and steering links. And I'm also using Integy big bore shocks. Yes, I know they're upside down. I did that for a reason. Other than that, there'll also be a skid plate going on this, as well as a few other things. This is going to be its own series on its own. Right now it's sitting on a set of 8 shooters with Pitbull original V1s, not the new Rock Beasts, the original 2.2 Rock Beasts. This one is still in the works, so we move on to the next one. This one would be my son's Axial Wraith, which this one is running all stock setup. This was a kit version Wraith. The only difference on this one is I have a full Metal Gear transmission, including the Robinson Racing Gen 3 slipper unit for it, stock Wraith shocks, stock links, stock axles, stock steering link. Believe this one is actually using a Hi-Tech 625 servo. This one has my old Timbuk2 system in it, so it's a 17.5 turn motor. It's got the 8-shooter chrome 2.2 beadlocks with cut every other lug. As you can see, Mickey Thompson Baja Claw TTCs. These aren't the super sticky ones, these are the stiff ones. So cutting every other lug out worked for it. Right now it's still running a nickel metal hydrate battery. It's going to be switched over to a 2-cell LiPo. This one is ridiculously fast. He had never run a brushless vehicle before until this, and he absolutely loves it, as you can tell by how filthy it is. And it also features the Ruby for Wraith body from Dynamic Concepts. I did some trimming and everything on it to make it look right for him. That was originally the Riddler Wraith. Next we're going to move on to a truck you guys all know. This is the XXX Tundra. But it's a little different since the last time you guys have seen it. Last time you saw it, it was jacked up, had huge TSL boggers on it, and was pretty much just a raped ape truck. This one right here is using a Novak Rooster ESC I'm using, at the moment, I switched over. I was always using the Panther Cobra 2.2 tires with the Venom beadlock rims. I've gone ahead and changed over to the Venom, I remember these are Ridgelines, I think. Yeah, Ridgeline tires, the stock tires that come on a Creeper and a Safari. This has axial wraith shocks underneath it, the Jungfac 4-link kit, and servo over axle relocation kit. As well as this one also is running an into G35 turn lathe motor. It seems to be a common motor I like using because it's beautiful being a 35/1 turn. What you guys haven't seen, and I just recently did, was build this steel workbed for it. And as you can see, I had to throw some stickers on there. We got Dinky's RC, Vanquish, RPP, RC Crawler, and Carter. And then we've also got Dick CPAC, Fox Racing, and Black Diamond. But the unique thing about this bed is I used the stock hinges from the bed on the Tundra. So the bed will actually pivot, and you can see I'm running a Venom 5020C 2-cell LiPo. This one does have the 3-speed transmission. Thing's a blast to drive. Okay, that's going to wrap it for the 2.2 rigs. Now we're going to get into the 1.9 rigs. Right here we have by far my favorite and currently most dirtiest rig, my Chief Cherokee SCX10 scaler. This one is completely custom. I don't think there's another one set up like mine in existence. This one is using, for starters, of course, the 92 Jeep Cherokee body, or 92 and 93. I've got 4 lights up top for the front, 2 lights in the rear, and I also have a low-C rock light set underneath, so I've got light underneath my axles. Under the hood, we have 2 batteries. Primary battery for the truck being a 5,000 milliamp 20C 2-cell LiPo from Venom. And for the winch up front, which is a RC 4-wheel drive 9300 Bulldog wireless, I have a 3300 milliamp 6-cell nickel metal hydrate, which I have my electronics sitting on top of, being an M2 dual dig ESC from Novak. I'm using the AR300 and the AX3 RXTX combo. It also features MIP spline CVD shafts, Vanquish aluminum transmission case, Robinson Racing gears throughout the entire transmission, including the same thing that Porkchop has, the one-piece lower out drive. Oh, that's another thing with Porkchop too, I forgot to mention. The transmission on that is bomb-proof. It's all metal geared inside with a one-piece out drive. It's got the super shafty mod done to it, so it has a Traxxas 32-pitch Robinson Racing hardened steel spur gear, paired with, right now, a 13-tooth Robinson Racing metal gear for that too. But back to this one. It also has the Level 3 Racing dual motor mount for SCX10, paired with 2 axial 27 turn motors. It previously had 2 Novak 55 Terraclaws in it. It was just too slow for me, so I had to speed it up. There's a good shot of my rock lights. I have those custom drilled, custom mounted. I have RC 4-wheel drive 110mm shocks up front and rear with the Gearheads RC rear shock relocation kit, which adds a ton of articulation. Tough Armor front and rear bumpers. This one has the tow hooks and the full. This one has the rear spare tire carrier on it. This truck by far is one of my absolute favorites. It also has the Jungfac side steps on it, which are actually aluminum, which is nice because it adds durability to it over the floppy ones you get from Axial. Right now it's using 1.9-inch Interco IROC tires with Vanquish SSZs. These are the black and machined. It also has, as you've seen in the previous video, a set of black and red Vanquish OMF 1.9 beadlocks with stretched 155 eye rocks on it. So I've got 2 sets. The vehicle right now is using 350 hubs. The 1.9 OMFs are using 475 hubs. And next on the list, we have my son's SCX-10. This one is fairly stock, minus the Tough Armor RC 4-wheel drive Stinger front bumper, another Bulldog 9300 wireless winch. This one is still running off of a nickel metal hydrate because he doesn't want lipo for some reason. I'm using a Venom ESC, Spectrum. All my rigs use Spectrum radio and receivers, with the exception of Chief Cherokee, because that one runs on the AX3 system. This one's fairly stock, 27 turn axial motor, dual battery as well. He's got MIP shafts on his, all metal links, Walker Evans wheels with glued flat irons, because I got tired of him walking all over me. Then one of my favorite trucks right here, the RC 4-wheel drive Trailfinder 2, which I have repainted since everybody has red trucks. I repainted mine with a rusty ass color. It's using the original stamp Steely 155s with a set of 155 mud hogs on it. I did a little cutting work on the front bumper, took the glass out just to give it that beater look. This has a Novak Eiger ESC with a Rockstar 45 turn motor, 2-speed transmission, another 5000 20C 2-cell lipo from Venom. Shifting servo, I'm using an SR1 out of an HPI. For shafts on this one, I'm using another set of Jungfac hardened carbon steels. This one is leaf sprung and a hell of a lot of fun to bounce around on the trails. Then we come to the Dale Earnhardt SCX-10. This is the Intimidator SS body with a custom interior with Team 36 seats, custom lit interior, headlights, taillights. It's running stock SCX-10 B-locks right now with 1.9 RC 4-wheel drive Tomahawk tires. It's running a high-tech 625 servo. Gearhead rear shock relocation kit on this truck as well, so it's extremely flexible. It's still using the stock SCX-10 shocks at the moment, but Wraith lower links and the stock upper links. It's got the only thing I did was use the spare axle that had the metal steering links on it. For electronics on this, I'm also running another. Is this one running nickel metal hydrate? Yes, this one right now is running a 55 turn axial motor with an AE 2-speed controller and a 4600 Venom nickel metal hydrate battery, and of course the Spectrum receiver. And behind it, it also has a Dinkies RC receiving hitch on it, paired with the Dinkies Woodsman trailer painted in olive green camo with a set of G-made plastic beadlocks with 1.9 axial ripsaw tires on it. This is going to be a good little truck right here. Let me get all this stuff out of the way so nobody's tripping over it. And then we come to the last 2 vehicles that are sitting right here. This one here being my Traxxas Slash 4-wheel drive Platinum Edition. This has a VXL 3S system in it. It did have the MIP X-Duty shafts, but they kind of were very loose. So I took them off and I'm running the stock shafts right now. Currently it's running bow ties on Traxxas rims. I do have the Pro Track suspension kit done to this truck. Proline Power Strokes front and rear. As you can see, there's some RPM goodies on there. Ford Raptor SVT body. Got the protective bumper with the mud flaps. I also have a set of Proline Badlands tires mounted on Pro Track rims. Then we have my son's two-wheel drive slash that is also running a VXL3S system. This one with the split 6, I believe. No, these aren't split 6. These are the BF Goodrich mud terrains, just basically standard tire, but running very, very, very potent. This one runs a 5,000 milliamp 50C 2-cell. My truck runs a Gens Ace 5,000 3-cell. In the video where you guys saw the slash bash, they were both running on 2-cell power. Well, I put the Gens Ace in here and gave it a few runs, and I managed to spin my pinion off and completely eat the teeth off of it. So we know that the Gens Ace has some serious power. That right there kind of sums up all my running rigs minus 3, which I'm going to go show you right now. We gotta take a little walk to do so. I've got, to start off, we have the Tamiya tanker trailer with the shell graphics on it. We have the Tamiya pole trailer. And sitting over here in the darkness, I don't know if you guys can see it because it's currently loaded down with weight, I have my Tamiya flatbed. That's loaded down with weight for what's going to be the upcoming RC logging series. And to pull those 3 trailers, I have the Tamiya Ford Aeromax semi-truck. This one has, trying to look, they all run the stock can motors. This one's running a Venom ESC Spectrum receiver, of course. 2 AX2 servos, I believe, the standard Metal Gear servo from Axial, and a 4600 6-cell from Venom. Next we have the Night Hauler. This one is running also a Venom ESC with another set of Axial stock servos and another Venom 5,000 milliamp 6-cell nickel metal hydrate. And on the back of this one, I actually have to do some work to it. I'm going to be putting the stock duals on this one as well, because down at the bottom we have my King Hauler, which up front has RC 4-wheel drive, semi rims, and all 3 trucks, I need to point out, have the commercial HT 1.7 roadies, the wide tires. On the back of the King Hauler we have the other bunk for the log trailer. This one is running, once again, the stock can motor from Tamiya, the 540 motor, which is found in pretty much every kit made. It's got the AE2 speed controller on it, standard servos, and another 5,000 nickel metal hydrate battery from Venom. And the only thing I've done to this one is I actually miter cut the stacks on it to give it a little bit more of a look. But there you guys go. That's an extremely long overview. I've got other things sitting around that aren't running right now, like my CR01 chassis. Got my Lamborghini TT01E and the Cusco Subaru TT01E. Complete SCX10 chassis down there. Venom Creeper chassis. XR10 chassis. Boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. We have my Monster Energy slash body up there that's custom airbrushed. You'll never see it on one of my trucks for fear of breaking it. We've got the mean green Lexan Clod body. Tons of tires, JK body, the original G-Made chassis, 2 JKs. That's pretty much it, guys. There's a super in-depth overview of not only all my running rigs, but all my rigs put together so far. So it's been almost 25 minutes explaining all this stuff. If you guys haven't fallen asleep, you guys get some massive credit for that. I'm gonna go ahead and put all this shit back on the shelf. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate, like, don't like, comment, subscribe, don't subscribe. Really don't care which way you go. As I'm doing this for me and the group of people that absolutely love the hobby. If you don't like it, then to each his own. that's pretty much it, guys. Later.